What in the hell is that squirrel doing? Hey, everybody, Sunnyvale Reject in the house with his 2026 recommended reading list for summer break. Come on, I can't wait to show you. Hey, everybody. Good morning to you all from the Sunnyvale Reject here in West Palm Beach, where you're not going to believe it, but school is over and summer is finally here. Yes, I didn't think I was going to make it. I really didn't. I'm 50 years old, and as far as employment goes, my last year of teaching at SLAM was the hardest job I have ever had in my entire life. And it was an important one, which made matters worse because I couldn't just walk away like I would have from any other job. But we're not here to talk about my job. We're here to talk about the Sunnyvale Rejects summer reading recommendation list. And it's not pretentious at all. It's amazing, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it because there's a little something for everybody. And if I may, please don't forget I'm a writer and I'm a poet myself. Laughing is Forever is my newish book, was a finalist for the International Book Award. My first book, Blame Forest, this bastard took me 7 years to write, and I thought I was going to die in the process. And I said, F it. If I die and this is my legacy, so be it. Blame Forest, finalist for the American Legacy Book Award. Gritty, violent, brutal, but beautiful flash fiction and poetry. Man, look, I can't lie. I work my ass off. I read a lot of papers, so when I come home, all I want to do is, well, sometimes just lay in my lazy boy and watch some TV. So I'm still reading King Sorrow. Look, I'm making some progress. I'm 550 something pages in, but now I'm going to knock this out because all I'm going to be doing is playing with my kid and reading. And I think I told you guys I started Sean Hudson's Assassin, which is on my TBR. King Sorrow is too. And, a couple of these books might be on my TBR, but I got to get to the TBR before I read anything else. No more wasting time. No more buying new books. I haven't bought a books in month. I haven't bought a new book in months. Let me get that out there. Okay, so I'm doing pretty good. This is Assassin. I'm 66 pages into it, and it's gory and violent as hell. And there's a weird sex scene in the beginning, just like all of Sean Hudson's books. But for some reason, you just keep turning the pages because you're like, how's he going to top that scene? Okay, getting used to the microphone. I let my coffee sit there too long. It's cold. Moving on along. Guys, it's summertime. I know a lot of you, you're not teachers. Thank God. Thank God, because it's hard as hell and the summer is not nearly long enough. But you might not have the summer off. But if you do have some time off during the summer and you can go to the beach or go to a mountain lake or sit by the pool and do some reading, pardon me, these are the books that I suggest you read just for fun. A couple of them are fairly serious, but they're just books to take your mind off the sturm and drain of the daily routine. So let me shut up because it feels like it's been a while since I've been in front of the camera. It's probably been about 2 weeks since I've done a video, and I'm stumbling through my words here. But I promise you, as time goes on, I'll get better. So look, like I said, we're just having some fun here. So the first book on the 2026 summer reading recommendation list from your old pal Sunnyvale Reject is I Saw You Last Night. I Saw You Last Night. This is a 1994 Scholastic YA horror classic about our girl Rosie. I'm stupid. Her name is Roxy, and she breaks into a boy's house to win a bet, but she sees something and her life is just not the same after that. This summer is going to be a real killer. Sand, surf, sun. Roxy lives for the summer. But this summer, things aren't going the way Roxy planned. It all started when she broke into Lee Bloom's house just to win a stupid bet. Because while she was in Lee's house, Roxy saw something she shouldn't have seen, heard something she shouldn't have heard. And now someone's looking for Roxy, someone who wants her dead. Yes, and it's a lot of fun, and dig that cover, y'all. You're going to see in this list that I dig me some R.L. Stein. I do. I grew up reading classics. I didn't start reading this kind of stuff until I watched Cameron Chaney. Thank you for the inspiration, Cameron. I've said that to you a couple of times. I appreciate you, man. But this book's a lot of fun. The cover rocks. And this would definitely encourage you to pick up another book. Reading, reading passionately is incumbent upon the fact that you liked the book before, and the book before makes you want to pick up another book. That's all it is. All right, what's next? All right, another YA horror book from Master Christopher Pike. It's 1991's Bury Me Deep. It's Bury Me Deep. Our girl is on a trip to Hawaii, but things take a sinister turn when Mike, a boy sitting in the seat beside her, dies. He doesn't stay dead, though. He comes back in her nightmares and maybe, just maybe, in her waking life. Read the damn book and find out. Christopher Pike is a lot of fun, and I've talked about him a lot on this channel. There's always some weird cosmic, spacey time travel element to his books, which just throws you off the mark, but somehow in the end he ties it all together and it makes sense. Somehow. You know what? I don't know shit about Christopher Pike. I've been trying to look for interviews and videos, and I can't find anything about him anywhere online. I'd love to hear anything you guys have to say about him. And please, drop me a comment. And while you're there, like and subscribe. I love you guys, and I need you. This is a good break from the rat race for me, and I hope it is for you too. The dead boy would not go away. Jean is on her way to Hawaii for a week of fun in the sun, but the vacation gets off to a gruesome start. The boy sitting beside her on the plane suddenly chokes and dies. Jean tries to push the incident out of her mind. When she arrives on the island, it's impossible. Face it, sometimes the only way past something is through it. It's Christopher Pike, 1991, Bury Me Deep. Guys, this is a lot of fun. I love this. I've missed it. If you like Fear Street, now is your opportunity to read the first three books. And this is a nice modern bind up of those first three books. And I love the color. I love the cover. I love the color scheme. And it was one of the first books that I bought 3 years ago when I really embarked on this journey. And I just love me some Fear Street. And when you read one and you fall in love, there's so many others to read. It's like not quite, okay, not quite. What Faulkner did with Yoknapatawpha or what J.R.R. Tolkien did with Middle Earth. And there's a lot of other great series out there like Alex Cross and the Case Scarpetta. Case Scarpetta, you may or may not see one of those books here. But when you fall in love with a character or a setting, you've got so many other books to indulge in. So, like I said, this is a modern bind up. And if you like Fear Street, in this book here, you have The New Girl, The Surprise Party, The Overnight, and Missing. My dumbass. I probably said three. It's four books. Yeah, I've only read The New Girl. So during the summer, I want to read The Surprise Party, The Overnight, and Missing. And again, this is on my TBR. So over the summer already, I got to finish King Sorrow, another 300 pages. I got to finish Assassin. And then I got to read The Surprise Party, The Overnight, and Missing. And you know what? I got this book down here. I'm probably going to read this too. Y'all know I'm a poet. I love poetry. Stan Rice, Anne Rice's husband. I'll probably read through this over the summer too. Because poetry's cool. You can read they're not all, I mean, they're disparate. They don't all have to belong to each other in a collection. So you can read one, walk away, read another one, walk away, read it a couple of times before you walk away. Yes, yes, I'm shutting up. Another R.L. Stein book that just came out this year in February, and I read this in about an hour and a half the other day. It's called Nightmare on Nightmare Street. Nightmare on Nightmare Street. Nightmare Street. If that's not foreshadowing. Look, you see a nice house, you're like, wow, that price is right. It's a nice neighborhood. The schools are good. Nightmare Street. I mean, that's like Fear Street, Elm Street. Stay away. But these are fun little books. I don't know why, it just reminded me of the ocean, maybe the color scheme, but I had a lot of fun with this. I got it from a student, and so I'm grateful, Daniela. Thank you. You know who you are, and I know who you are. I see you, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate the email from your mom too. I got you, girl. Stay strong. But she thought about me and she bought me this book, and I read it there in class because I was hoping I'd be able to talk to her about it, but I didn't see her again after that. But I'm grateful, and it was a lot of fun. So read it out by the pool. Read it out loud to your kids. 12-year-old 12-year-old Joe Ferber, his sister Sadie, and their parents have just moved into a house that has all the hallmarks of a horror movie. Tombstones in the basement, a creepy doll lying around, strange noises in the wall, and so on. Guys, you noticed me messing up while I was reading there. I have to read out loud to 10th graders all the time, and I screw up all the time. And in class, it works because they're like, Mr. Stocks, please, can I read? I can do better than that. And I say, hell yeah, take the helm, baby. Here we go. But I'm not the sage on the stage, and I'm not perfect. Not there, not out there in my what I would call normal life, and not here. I screw up all the time. And you guys can too. It's perfectly fine. As Joe tries to fall asleep on the first night, his nightmare Shit! His nightlight begins to flash and change colors, and the creepy doll appears in his bed. You see, I did it again. And then 12-year-old Sean Hannigan wakes up from a dream. Sean and his little sister Addie are seemingly living in the same house with their mother, but when they arrive at their new school for the first day, the teachers are all wearing animal masks, and the principal's office is pitch black and full of noises. Okay, the chaos ensues, and I just totally screwed that up. But you get it. It's a fun book. It looks good. It's a library. Is this what you call a library? Like a library edition hardback? Because there's no wraparound, no dust jacket. And like, boom. And it's the first edition too. That was really nice. The end papers are kind of cool. Yeah, so look, you're going to see R.L. Stein on all the lists that I have because it's fun. You can read a fat ass classic. You can read a thick ass horror book by King or Peter Straub. But in the meantime, read some little Fear Street books, man. It keeps your reading going, and they're just fun. Okay, on to a more serious book. This is Austral by Carlos Fonseca. It was published in April of 2022, and it's praised for its intellectual depth, but not so much so that you're not going to be able to follow it or going to feel stupid or have to have a thesaurus or dictionary beside you so you can look up words. And no, it's really good. And as far as like the persistence of memory and working through memory, um, it was akin to Faulkner, Larry Brown, some of the Southern masters that I listened to. It's layered. This book is layered, and it's about memory, loss, and language, historical trauma too. Yeah. But a writer, Julio, I think is it Julio? Julio? Yeah. Julio's like a disillusions professor. He's in Cincinnati, and his friend passes away, and they ask him to go through this manuscript and do some investigation. And it's the manuscript of a friend of his that died, so he has to go from Cincinnati to Argentina. What he does with the manuscript at the end of this book, it threw me for a loop, and it reminded me of Ask the Dust by John Fonte. But the language was beautiful and not too verbose and not too lofty, just right. I really dug it, and it'd been a while since I'd read what I would call a literary novel. So, Miss Jones, I'm grateful for this book. Thank you very much, and I'm going to find somebody to pass this on to. If you get a chance, read it. It's just under 200 pages, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, it's 207 pages. It's got a decent font with chopped up, paragraphs and stuff. So you can consume, good bits of it, and there's great stopping points. I've mentioned what I mean by that in some other videos, but here's what I mean. Let's just see. All right. All right. See how the paragraph kind of starts halfway down the page? They read this, then there's a stopping point. No, you read this. There's a stopping point. It's just easy to consume, and you can see an end in sight. So you can read a fat ass paragraph, stop, go right back to it. I don't know. When it's just all down the damn page like it's the Bible, you don't see a stopping point in sight, and you're like, nah, I don't even want to start that. Start it. You're gonna love it. It's Carlos Fonseca's Austral. Now, I have talked about John Fonte many, many times. John Fonte is the king of Los Angeles. This is Dreams from Bunker Hill. It's the fourth book in the Arturo Bandini series that started with Ask the Dust. I don't know what to say about this book. It's very, very simplistic, but just so deep at the exact same time. And it was dictated by an ailing and in a lot of pain John Fonte to his wife. At the end of his life, he was in a lot of pain. He had some amputations, and he was the primary influence of Charles Bukowski. I've mentioned that before. Charles Bukowski discovered John Fonte in the Los Angeles Library, and it changed his life. And Bukowski went on to write over 100 books, and he's well known. And this may sound crazy, but if you say, "Who is the poet Jason Stocks?" or "Who is the poet Jason Stocks?" which is me, similar to, I'll be compared to Charles Bukowski, and I'll be compared to Robert Lowell, who was probably a confessional poet. But because I, I, I still have an issue with drinking, I will drink all the beers in your refrigerator. I like to sit around and think about the past, and sometimes I'm bitter, sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I'm okay with things, but I write a lot like Bukowski does, just gritty to the point. I don't beat around the bush. Yeah, so if you like Bukowski, pick up my book, Laughing is Forever. Pick up Blame Forest, but certainly back to the book that we're actually talking about, John Fonte. You're going to love Dreams from Bunker Hill, and I would say start with Ask the Dust, but I've mentioned Ask the Dust numerous times. But this is a wonderful book with a thick font. See, you don't have to have a telescope to or binoculars to read it, and it's only 100 and 100 and 147 pages. All of his books are fairly short, and they are packed with everything you're looking for in a literary masterpiece. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more deep than some of these other books that you've seen, Dreams from Bunker Hill is going to fit the bill. You're going to fall in love with John Fonte, I swear, and you're going to want to read everything he's got, and you're going to enjoy it all too. All right. All right. I've been rambling, but hell, if we were sitting across from each other having breakfast and coffee or at a bar with a beer, I'd do the same thing. I hung out with some teachers after work the other day. I haven't gone to a party in a long time, but I hung out with these teachers, and we were drinking some beers at a bar in Lake Worth, Florida. And they were like, "You are just exactly the same as you are at school. And I don't know how to be any different. Like, take a good look. This is me." And people used to say, "You're always real." I don't know about that. I'm just always me, and I'm very, very flawed. So for you guys that stick around and watch my videos and drop me lines here and there, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And now I'm shutting the fuck up. Last book on the list, Patricia Cornwell's The Body Farm. The Body Farm. Um, she's written about 29 books, 29 primary books that feature Dr. Kay Scarpetta, which is the medical examiner, I think, in Richmond, Virginia. She's a badass female lead, brilliant, beautiful, smoking, apparently. And she was too at one time. I mean, that might not be the best picture of her, but it's a damn good one, clad in leather. Yeah, man. Kay Scarpetta. Um, like I said, there's about 29 books in the series. I think the last one was written in 2025. There may even be another one now because she can't leave Kay Scarpetta alone. But it started with, what was it? This is book four, the fourth book she wrote. This was published in 1994. I believe the Kay Scarpetta series started with Postmortem in 1990. Yeah, very, very, very successful writer, very successful series of books. And she writes other stuff too, but she's known for Kay Scarpetta. All right, so The Body Farm. Little Emily Steiner is dead. She left a North Carolina church meeting late one October afternoon and strolled along a lakeside path toward her house 2 miles away. Who met her on the path? Who followed her home, kidnapped her from her bedroom, and left her body by the lake days later? It's a puzzling and terrifying crime reminiscent of the work of a serial killer named Temple Galt, who has long eluded Dr. Kay Scarpetta and the FBI's investigative support unit in Quantico, Virginia, where Scarpetta consults as a forensic pathologist. Quantico, I may have said Richmond, but she does operate there too. At the request of the North Carolina authorities, Scarpetta and her colleagues Benton Wesley and Pete Marino's cool as hell, fly to the mountains near Asheville to assist. They find a mother in mourning and an investigation in disarray. Yes, it's a great book. And again, when you fall in love with this, and you will, there's a whole ton of other books, and I have every single one of them. And hey, give it a shot. Deep breath, y'all. It's over. I really sincerely appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Thank you for everything. Get out there and enjoy this weekend. And if you're a teacher, God bless you. Enjoy your summer and get all the things done that you weren't able to do through the school year. And listen, if you like soccer, the World Cup is going to be in the USA this summer. USA, USA. We got a good squad, y'all. And our first game is going to be June the 12th, I think. Okay. I love you. Get out of here. Have some fun. Stay cool and never stop reading.